Okay, episode 9, we're moving on to exercise for blood sugar and why walking alone isn't enough to get your blood sugar down. So the first thing I'd like to look at are the components of fitness, so all different aspects of our fitness that we should consider and aim to improve, lots of which will directly correlate with blood sugar. Just to go through them quickly, we've got cardiovascular endurance or our cardiovascular fitness, strength, muscular endurance, so both to do with muscle mass, flexibility, speed, power, agility, balance, coordination, reaction time, and then body composition. For general fitness, lots of these sort of components are intertwined, and without one, the others will be lacking. But it is important that we get quite a diverse range of different types of activity, so we can improve all of them, but some are more important than others when it comes to exercise for blood sugar. Just to quickly go over the exercise recommendations, so this is what the NHS recommend we do per week. So the minimum recommendation is at least 150 minutes or 2.5 hours of moderate intensity activity a week. So that includes things like brisk walking, swimming, cycling, your more mid-intensity activity. Things like a slower stroll or walk would not count towards this if it's not quite getting your heart rate up or increasing your breathing rate a little bit. Or at least 75 minutes of more vigorous intensity activity, maybe like sports, weight training, running, anything that's getting your heart rate up a lot more, you're breathing fast, and you have difficulty talking whilst maintaining that exercise. It's good as well if we can do a combination of both, and if we can exceed those minimum recommendations, then even better. But there's also some separate recommendations that are included. So one of those is the big circle in the middle, which is to build strength or do some form of resistance exercise at least 2 days a week. I will come back onto that in a second, and we'll talk about resistance exercise in more detail in the next video. Also, to minimise our sedentary time as much as possible, to break up the day with periods of activity, and then also to improve balance 2 days a week, which is especially important as we get older, to reduce the risk of falls and injuries as a result. A little bit of data to back this up. So people who meet the minimum recommended amount of exercise on the screen have a 26 to 40% lower risk of developing type 2 diabetes, according to the research. So you can nearly half your risk of becoming type 2 diabetic just by meeting these minimum recommendations. And of course, we can do more than that to decrease our risk even further. Benefits of exercise in general. Obviously, it's not just blood sugar we're improving, but exercise will also improve heart health, lower blood pressure, build stronger muscles, especially important as we get older and lose muscle mass. Strengthens bones and joints, boosts our mood and can reduce stress, which is another risk factor for type 2 diabetes. Increases longevity and quality of life if we can maintain balance and range of movement and things like that. Improves sleep quality, which is yet another risk factor for type 2 diabetes. And then supports brain health and memory and strengthens the immune system. Some of the blood sugar specific benefits would be that it increases our energy levels, improves our insulin sensitivity, which is a massive one, and that's referring especially to resistance exercise, which would have a huge effect on how our body responds or uses insulin. Lowers blood sugar levels, obviously, supports healthy weight management, and also body composition, so help to lose body fat, gain muscle mass, have a better ratio of those things. Therefore then reduces our risk of type 2 diabetes and also lowers the risk of cardiovascular disease and other complications associated with type 2 as well. In the next video, we're going to focus on resistance exercise and why it is the most important type of exercise we should be doing, how you can do it from home with no equipment, and all things like that. So I'll see you in the next one.